Velocity Killer here.
Velocity Killer.
Back with another Minecraft Let's Play. Buy my shirts at redbubble.com and be sure to subscribe and comment down below and let me know what you want to see in the next video.
This is definitely that secret account you've been like fucking hibernating. Hi, welcome to I forgot what
are we called? Velocity. Welcome to the road least traveled.
Episode 3.
Yes.
And have you tried these before? Like, super fucking.
I have now.
Super like, well.
You know what it tastes like?
Pipeline puncher.
It tastes like, like even the sensation I've just had from it, it tastes like almost like a, what are they called? Like a slushy.
Yeah, it's really like refreshing. It's just really like in your face. It's good though. That was such an ASMR moment. Just you slapping a kind of monster.
Some people are into that.
Not the people watching, probably. Probably just be our mate Jack, like, oh.
Leave a comment down below.
Let's have a try this this whiskey in.
This is drink review.
Actually not bad.
And what is this brand of whiskey?
I've actually forgotten. It's very oaky though.
This is whiskey.
It's just whiskey. we can't do Brandon.
Made with a whisk. And
imagine whiskey with a whisk.
Yeah, imagine that as a logo.
Hey, right, if this ever takes off, that's our new business adventure.
Whiskey.
So I thought I'd finally we got this mystery box.
Well, you got it months ago.
I was in town basically, and have you seen it on Family Guy? I think it is, where he's like, "Do you want a mystery box or do you want the actual prize?" And I'm like, "But it could be anything." And it's mystery. It's like £10. To be fair, it does say it's value the most. Minimum value at £25, but what's a maximum value? It's like pop culture stuff. Right, let's get this open. Actually, have a little look.
Oprah's bought you a brand new car. You get a car. You get a car.
To be fair, it's just the excuse to open it. I've had this for months now. I just haven't. I was going to do like a video opening it. I thought, what's the point?
How would you react if it was like the remains of like an exotic animal and you haven't opened it in months, so it's just dying?
It was a cute little puppy. I'm like, no.
At least £25 in monetary value, but sentimental value, it's dead.
I'll take it towards the camera. So actually, I'll just like what we got here. Oh, it's a good. We hit gold. One of my favourite shows, Game of Thrones.
Nice.
A Lannister mug. Love that.
Do you like that house though?
In the end, yeah, I'm more of a Stark, but Lannisters are good. What else have we got here? We have. There's one for you. A frozen glitter pen. That'll come in useful for putting notes down. Little blue hearts of Anna and Elsa. That's what they're called.
Don't give me it. I don't want it.
What else have we got? We got a part-time unicorn.
I'll have that.
Part-time unicorn notebook.
Oh my god!
What else we got? Oh, we got loads of stuff in here. This is mint. This is well worth it. I'm just buzzing with this. This is well worth 10 out. We have some glitter on me. I think is that troll.
What demographic is watching Game of Thrones, Trolls the movie, and Elsa and Frozen?
And Elsa. We got more. This looks very suave. What is this? It is Game of Fate, and is that like Marilyn Monroe and Elvis and someone else, James Dean, like playing pool?
Tripping
I don't know if you
me
can
out.
see 'cause it's very blurry on camera.
Oh no.
It's very like, I don't
There's
know.
Marilyn Monroe, certainly.
Yeah, is that so? That's Marilyn Monroe. You got Elvis there. I think that's James Dean.
See, I'm not wearing my glasses, so
Well,
it looks like Marilyn Monroe, Chandler Ross, and Joey.
that's just a friend's post. That's a friend's card. Imagine showing your kids that, like, what was the friends? What did the friends cast used to look like? And you show them that photo. He picked them up way more.
Marilyn had a cameo on Friends.
To be fair, you got Marilyn. I think that's James Dean, Elvis. I don't know who he is, but I recognise him. It's like Humphrey Bogart, something like that. Some like old actor.
It's certainly a person.
It's certainly a person. That much we know. Right, what other stuff we got in here? Right, we're getting to the bottom of the pile now. We have a Fantastic Beasts. Oh, it's like it's like the Groot type. It's like the Groot of Fantastic Beasts. I don't know his name. The little lizard thing, Scamanderous or whatever he's called.
I don't know. I'm not really a Potter
Have
guy.
you not seen what? I thought you'd be into that.
I don't mind. I've seen the Harry Potter. I've not seen Fantastic Beasts.
Well, I don't. Oh, we got a Minions keychain. All right, bottom of the pile now.
It's nearly well into your whiskey.
I think this is a poster. What's this? Last thing. It is
an anime waifu poster.
Oh, I don't know. It's kind of cool. Is that like a flamingo? That's actually awesome.
No, it's a pigeon.
Imagine it's like just a pigeon.
I liked how you question it. It's like, is that a flamingo?
Well, it looks a bit weird, but yeah, it's definitely a flamingo. But
what of a pig?
Cool,
What of a pig long-necked birds do you know?
Who's that by? Design copyright. That doesn't matter. It just says art group. All right.
The name of
someone just put this in my box. Like, someone just drew that and put it in my box. I'm not being funny. It's not signed anywhere.
The name of the piece is literally flamingo? Question mark.
Yeah. Flamingo, question mark. No, that's quite. Honestly, that's worth $9.99. Happy with that.
At least you're happy.
Oh, it's cool.
I think the mug probably has the most monetary
Oh
value.
yeah, it does. But I don't know. I like the flamingo. I like the mug, like you say, and
the minion key ring.
This little game of fate. It's called. Oh, it says most up. I can't. It's got like two-tone 3D flex thing. I can't really read the writing. I have no idea what it says. I don't know.
I just don't understand what this box was aimed for. Like,
it was just a mystery box, mate. That's what it is. Pop culture.
It's a mystery. Who likes all these things?
It just says contains at least 5 items. Mystery box. Pop culture. Pop culture mystery box.
It's certainly culture.
I don't know about pop culture, right?
Well, Game of Thrones is there. I guess Minions. It kind of
yeah,
is.
kind of.
Don't know,
it did its best. I'm happy, to be honest.
I just
you look baffled by it. What's up?
At least you're happy.
I'll just put that over there on the table.
Oh god.
Should we do a little unicorn notebook?
I think I'll pass.
Right on the podcast.
That literally was the one that my interest peaked at the notebook.
Do you know what the notebook, right? I think is what I'm going to do when I get other guests on in the future. I'm going to sit there, write down like questions about them, and just like flick through the little thing. Just like, is it true that this happened? Look, it's even got a bookmark on it as well.
Well, I can't lie to the unicorn, so
unicorns don't lie.
I'll own up to the money laundering.
It's like, where'd you get these sources? Unicorn knows all.
Imagine that, like a really like tough sort of like tough around the edges sort of like rough around the edges like detective. It's just like on the crime scene, just like
that's just me because I've had a baldy cut.
I'm thinking more like a really thick mustache though, like
thick mustache,
bit of a duster,
right, long black duster.
And he's just. I always default to Vinny for something when I.
You always do it for Italian as well when you take.
Hey Vinny!
You always take like, hey Vinny, where's the pizza dough? Your kid's been waiting, man.
Hey, Papa John ain't happy about this. Yeah, we would
been waiting 45 minutes. I'll have to give him refunds.
I'll always relate like an impromptu sketch. Back to Italian Americans somehow.
Do you know what it is? Because I've literally got like Italian in my ancestry. And I was going, oh yeah, I can imagine you went to the pizza shop called Vinny.
Yes,
in a parallel universe.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god.
Worked in a KFC that I don't know about. Wasn't really ain't good. Probably just drunk at work most of the time.
One thing I'll say, like random offshoot, but when I was in Italy, the McDonald's there's banging. Like the milkshake, the milkshake there is top tier.
Top tier.
Yeah,
I can imagine that though.
Yeah, the food's slightly different.
What are the coffees like? Imagine like lattes not banging over there. Imagine it's like different level, like goat tier.
It was like torture for me because I don't like coffee. But like I'd walk into like
you're very much a tea person. You're the only person drinking tea.
Yeah, I just conformed to British stereotypes. The whole time I was there, I was on a diet of biscuits, crumpets. And,
someone offers you a scone like, ooh, don't mind if I do.
Got any tea cakes? Yeah, they were weird about what was it like? Oh, that was one thing. Yeah, with tea and stuff, they used to like frown when I asked for milk.
What? They used to drink like black tea?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
It's not the same.
and with the coffee stuff, because obviously I'd go, like, I worked at Italian schools. I'd go in on a morning, I'd be knackered, because I'd get up at 5 every day to travel. And not from England.
Every day, do an Euro trip.
I'd travel from one town to another, but it took forever. And they just give me like this like little comically sized mug, like shot sized mug of coffee. And I'd always refuse to be like, oh, like, no, thank you. But they just thought I was conforming to that British stereotype of being too polite.
Yeah. This guy, British people, am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, no, I don't want your shitty coffee.
I couldn't refuse it because they're all really sweet. So I was just like, I took it, and then I'd do a shot of it, and I'd feel ill, like, within
sure it wasn't an espresso shot they were giving you in a little cup, and that's what's happening?
I don't know.
They've just given you a shot of espresso.
I think they saw how tired I was and thought, oh, you know what, he needs this. But it just killed me off. Like, I hated it so much.
I got like, when was it? A few years ago when I was going back a few, when I was in university, there was like a few months where I got like really bogged down with loads of work and stuff going on, to the point where I was getting like 3 hours sleep a night because I'd work in the bar at night times. I'd like rehearsals and like plays and films and stuff outside of uni, and then I'd uni work to catch up on like obviously gym exercise at the time, whatever. And like I got really bogged down, so I was getting like 3 or 4 hours. It was when I was doing my short film, that horror film, and I had to like plan all that out.
The Priest.
Yeah, I had to like plan that out, and then obviously do the shooting days, whatever. But I was editing and doing everything myself, so I had all that responsibility. I ended up having like about 3 or 4 hours a night sleep, for, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight, maybe a month. And I built up like a caffeine addiction. It wasn't until like one of my friends was like, "How many of them do you have a day?" And I was like, "Oh, just about 10 coffees, 3
You're vibrating like you're vibrating like a Nokia on silent. Like, you're like, no, I'm fine.
Just shaking. Like, no, I'm not addicted. Just waiting to have the next coffee.
You sat down in a lecture. And you just hear this at the back of the lecture hall.
It's like, please turn your phones off in the lecture.
It's Stephen.
I have.
Oh no. When you were saying about The Priest, I just thought, like, I can imagine like a B movie, like horror film called The Yeast, and it's like, and it's about a poltergeist haunting a bakery.
It's just like half a sausage roll piece.
It just popped into my head.
That would be a B-side movie, not gonna lie. It's not gonna be
like the first telltale sign of there being a ghost is like they put like the bread in the oven one day, they pull it out and it's got a face in it. Like
the handprint on the flowers.
If Tommy Wiseau wants to make a movie, I've got to kill the script I've just came up with.
Do you know what? That would be something he would make. Definitely.
Oh my God, it's a ghost.
Hello, ghost.
Hi. Oh look, the ghost speaks. Hey ghost, should we be friends?
Hey ghost, do you want to bake a cake? Come on, we baked a cake.
Oh, you're my favorite ghost.
As opposed to other ghosts. Not Casper, I'm not lying. I don't know about 10 Spanish. I pitched it.
See,
to be fair, so Tommy Wiseau would do a film about a ghost in a bakery in Spanish, but also mix it up with English.
I'm a Spanish man. You don't sound Spanish, Tommy. No, I'm Spanish, I swear.
I have a sombrero. Oh, no, it's Mexican. Oh, I got it wrong.
Yeah, it's like he
wouldn't even admit he got it wrong.
Anyone who doesn't know who Tommy Wiseau is, he made this film called The Room. It's like a notoriously bad movie.
Well, isn't it deemed the worst movie ever?
There's definitely worse films, but
I don't know.
Mate, honestly, I can find worse films. Trust me. I watch like a lot of YouTubers who review that kind of stuff, and yeah, I've seen worse. It's one of those films though that it's so bad that it's good. That's why it kind of like rose to notoriety, because it's very like memeable. There's a lot of moments.
Yeah, I mean, there's a moment where like one of the first. Well, I don't know if it's the first bit, but is he like doing a film within the film? Is that the thing of it? Because isn't he like shooting like a sex scene with a woman, and he's meant to be
but they made another film called The Disaster Artist,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
that's
obviously
right, yeah.
James Franco, Seth Rogen, and that.
It just makes me laugh, the original one. It's the one where they take the piss out of it. Like,
Yeah.
he's doing a sex scene with a woman. He's like, why are you fucking a belly button?
It's too high up.
Where are you going?
And then they casted a guy as a kid, but like the guy was like clearly not a kid. And it was just so awkward with the interactions. And then they randomly throw in like a cancer storyline because they need filler. Like it's so.
Do you know what? This year has been that messed up. Do you know what we should do? We should write that Ghost in a Bakery script. And
The yeast.
Yeah, we should actually like write it fully out and send it to Tommy Wiseau just to see what he thinks.
You are the most talented.
Almost as good as me when I did The Room.
I take you under my wings.
He just flies off of us under his wings.
He's not human. He's not human. I find the funniest thing I find about Tommy Wiseau is that I think he gets referenced in like Marvel comics.
Do you know what the weirdest
It's like an
thing
alien,
is?
which is funny.
Do you know he had like a clothing line selling jeans? Like,
I thought his
Who'd have
thing.
thought?
I would have thought he would be selling belts because doesn't he wear like a
I think
ridiculous
it
amount
was.
of
I
belts?
think it was like jeans and belts and stuff like that, but mainly jeans. But I was like, he has his own clothing line, and I was like, really? Like, just so
Wiseau
weird.
wears.
Wiseau wears.
There you go. Just came up with it.
I like it.
I know, Tommy. You can buy that name if you want. But yeah. What was I on about the? What was I on about the Room? Because so like The Room, it was like this notoriously like bad movie. It rose to prominence in like the last like 5 years or whatever. And then obviously the Disaster Artist with like James Franco, Seth Rogen, and that got made. Which it was a movie itself about the process of making that film because apparently it had loads of like random, like weird stuff happening. Like he had an unlimited budget, but no one knew where the money was coming from.
He's just laundering through a movie.
He made like a fake alleyway, and it was and like
it
it's
was
like, there's an alleyway around the corner.
It
It's
looks
just,
exactly the same.
Yeah.
He's like, no, we have to be
no,
fake.
it's just a movie. It's a movie, guys.
Imagine like being on that movie, just witnessing that and just thinking, what the fuck, man? This guy's power crazy. Yeah, this is like never made a movie before.
He's just delusional, isn't he? Like I think he was.
Do you think he's like aware of what he's doing? Like, do you think he knows what he's doing sometimes? Like
I think he's just lost in his own head. You know, some people are
it
like
makes
that.
me
though.
laugh because I'm like, he's either really clever and he's doing all that big facade to get like famous and like this, or he's just really lost in it.
Yeah, nah,
I don't know.
it is funny though. Yeah, I think it's one of those things, isn't it, where the I think there's probably a lot of people like that. They just don't get that level of exposure.
Yeah, there's a guy I used to watch. It was on Twitch, and do you know like when people like just do like daily vlog sort of thing, but it's like live stream. They do a daily live stream just about his life. I forgot his name, something Berger or something like that, and it was just like I was like, is this guy doing this on purpose? And it was just weird. I was trying to think of some of it. He used to do like random. It was pretty much like Tommy Wiseau, just not rich. it was just a bit terrible, to be honest.
It's but the thing is like you get a lot of people in that kind of industry though that will like the acting doesn't stop when they leave set.
I think it could be a good thing, like method acting, like taking it home, because people like the Joker, Heath Ledger. He stayed in a hotel room for like 3 months straight and didn't leave the hotel room once to try and get in the role of Joker. And he's my favorite Joker, to be honest. Like, there's no, in my personal opinion.
I think he's probably most people's favorite Joker because it was a very brave take on that character.
Yeah,
but
also, it is sad what happened at the end. But I don't know.
This might sound a bit like insensitive, but I don't think his character would have been as iconic if he didn't die doing that role, because there's almost like a mythos behind it. It's like he got so into that character has so much weight that his own mental state deteriorated.
I don't think so, honestly, because he didn't he die of like it was an accidental drug overdose, wasn't it, by like legal prescription drugs? Wasn't it like a sleeping tablet and painkillers or something like that?
I'm not sure, but the thing is, like, even if that is the case,
that was ages after filming the Joker. Like,
but even if that is the case, people will connect the two still.
Yeah, like a lot of people do connect to, and like, oh, is he taking it because I know a lot of people going, like, is he addicted to this sort of stuff? Like, obviously, when you're an actor on like stage or set, you do get injuries. You do take painkillers, like you have to sometimes to get through the day.
Especially if you're like shouting and stuff, and you're having to like if you're physically strenuous. That's actually a good point. I think
that's a good point.
That's a brilliant point.
Are actors just drug addicts, but nobody knows about it?
Are actors people? No,
I mean, it does go hand in hand. A lot of people, who live life on the edge like that and do stuff.
Well, you got to think. One of our lecturers, I think it was our lecturer Paul, who said that we are kind of like the 1% of people that are capable of doing that stuff.
It's the road least travelled.
Yeah, well, literally, it is that sort of like fringe way of thinking, you know, I think if you. I don't like this whole notion that it's like where like all actors have necessarily got bad mental health.
Yeah,
because I think you probably get some actors who have got that stuff together, and I don't think you need to have issues with your mental health to be a good actor. I don't think you need to be unhinged as such.
I just think it comes with creativity a lot of the time.
Being able to tap into those emotions. I think you run into danger. Okay, so the thing I would bring up about mental health in regards to acting is obviously emotional memory / method acting.
Stanislavski.
Yeah. This is where the acting degree's coming in.
Start getting Stanislavski books out.
You're going to jot down notes in the unicorn.
Jot down notes. Feel like back at lecture.
Yeah, obviously emotional memory, that's essentially like a more tamed version of like method acting, isn't it, really? It's like taking...
Well, it's part of it.
Well,
it's 101 in methods.
Well, yeah, like how I define it is more... It's like...
It's a subject within. It's
like going into method.
It's a sector within it, yeah.
Like, it's the whole, like, trying to take a character's experiences and bring them to your own. Like, so you can tap into that emotion and feel something similar.
It's like now if we had to play like a podcast host or like if we had to play an actor doing a film within a film or whatever, we'd have good experience. Like, say if you would do like someone like a singer or whatever, you know, or someone who parties a lot.
Guilty. Don't party at all now, mate.
But yeah, like even in his first Stanislavski book, he has an exercise where he says he went into class and his tutor told him to I'm gonna get this wrong and everyone's gonna be like, it isn't. They have to I think it's like go to a fireplace and do something with a fireplace or open a door, and the tutor's like, right, next person, how would you open that door? You know, and then people think, shit, how do I open a door? You know what I mean?
Overthinking it.
It's like when you sit with actor, jump and they're like, how high? Good answer. You know what I mean? It's like, because then you can tell they're really thinking about how high, like, how am I going to jump? Do I like jumping forward, backwards, what direction? You know?
Well, yeah.
It's like, but it just get you thinking, like, when someone says do it this way, like, shit, lean against the wall, how do I?
Well, yeah, and that's what I was trying to get at is, like, obviously, with stuff like emotional memory and obviously, like, doing even the most basic tasks on stage, for you to be a convincing actor, it is a lot of mentally strenuous stuff. I think the issue with, like, emotional memory / method acting is that you run into a danger of bringing up a lot of unresolved trauma.
Yeah, it's like if people have died and you have to grieve, like, go through grieving and stuff on the stage. I know I've had it before, and people, my pastor have passed away, and about like use that when I'm playing a character that's in grieving, and stuff gets a bit raw sometimes. You know what I mean?
It's a bit like a Palpatine. It's like, yes, use your anger, like tap into the dark side.
I'm sure you've seen probably rehearsals with other actors where they've gone a bit too far in training. Like the director will go cut scene or like scene, and that'll be the end of the scene. And you look to your right, to your right, and one of your co-actors or friends that sat crying on the floor because they're still still into that mind frame.
You have to sort of, but with the acting stuff, you have to obviously. I think it's good to have that like emotional trigger and being able to tap into something, but you have to also like remind yourself, I'm acting, and then you kind of have to just remember, if I feel this way, how would that come across? Like, you know. I'd like to think actors are quite good at reading human behaviour because they kind of have to emulate it in an instant.
I think it's good though. I mean, I do think like having good life experience and stuff like that, being able to tap into these resources and these emotions can really help with that. Can really help an actor. But like it's just that thing of afterwards, like you have to differentiate between normal life and acting life, because otherwise you start bringing stuff home with you. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good to do your research. It's good to prepare, do rehearsal and stuff in your spare time. But just know the difference.
Here's one. Like, I don't know if you can relate, and I'm not sure how much anyone listening could relate. If you've ever been like, actually, you don't even need to be an actor to kind of relate to this. Like, if you ever got into like a really like you've been really moved by a story, and it could be a TV show, a video game, a series of songs, anything like a movie series, and you've dedicated a lot of time to that, like a lot of like continuous sort of like mental like attention towards that, and it suddenly stops. That's what it's kind of like when you are acting. And
it's like a movie theater when you go on. Like I spoke to you. I think it was you who spoke about it a few weeks ago. And I said when you go and see a movie, I miss going to the movies now because like, you and your friends would come out and you see a movie or even the play in the theaters. You come out and it'd be like maybe it's daylight when you went in. You've gone in there and you saw like a play about, I don't know, let's say World War II or whatever, and like how things were back in that. It's like putting you inside that movie in a way.
Well, even the nature of a movie theater, it's black on 3 of the walls, and
that's the point.
It's lit up. It's to polarize the story. But my point is that obviously when you go to that movie theater and you come out of it and you think, oh,
yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like you're immersed in this story, and then you come outside and you're getting pulled out of that story back to reality, and you're like,
you're still feeling that. That's how it feels. It does, yeah, and you're glad you've had those feelings. Sometimes it could be like a sadness, happiness. You still appreciate it because you come out thinking. But it feels like that when you do a really good play or a really good acting session. I've never had this experience with screen stuff, but with theatre, because you're continuously rehearsing stuff, reliving these moments, and then you have your final performance where it's like the most real. And you could be rehearsing something for months and months. When that's over, it's over, and you're just sort of left with it.
Yeah, it's kind of like I find the following days is a bit like surreal because like usually after a performance, all the actors like
have a drink.
Yeah, they all have a big buzz after, like, because usually there's bowing. There's no better feeling. No matter what drug you take, there's no better feeling than getting that final applause.
Oh, it's a euphoria, innit? Like,
yeah, it's totally euphoric. And then you obviously go back to the dressing room, get changed, congratulate each other, everyone's hugging and smiling, whatever.
You might have your big night out,
Yeah, then you go to the pub for a big night out, whatever, get absolutely shit-faced. Then the next day you're hungover, and it's usually that night or the day afterwards, you sat there and like, what now?
Yeah,
you're like, what do I do?
I was like that with the last play I was like that with was like Constellations when I was in second year, and that was like 3 months, like 2.5 months I think of like rehearsing, and when we did it
for the National Theatre thing.
No,
what was it in that at the time?
No, that was for I was in a third year project for that one.
Oh, right.
So I didn't even get, I wasn't getting graded for it. I just did it because I wanted to do a play. And I really enjoyed that play. And it was only a duologue play. And the scenes were very sort of like dramatic, funny. There was a lot of like characterization with the parts we were playing. And then
was it one character or was it multiple characters you were playing?
The whole premise of that particular play was it was kind of like a Schrodinger's cat meets love story thing where it had like you'd reenact multiple versions of a scene like on different timelines.
That's cool.
I like that. And it was difficult, I won't lie. And like some of this, you kind of you'd go from acting out the situation in a sad way, acting out the situation in a happy way, and then like you'd come out of it and it was like, oh my god, like we did it.
That'd be so trippy. It'd be like a Black Mirror sort of play that.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Because it kept like, it would move linearly through this timeline, but then it would jump to the future every so often, and you know, and you'd go for all these different timelines, acting out the stuff, and it was really hard to learn because you had to find like nuances in how like differentiate each scene.
You rush in with like a fake beard and mustache. I tell you what, like the fit.
Walking with a white wig, I'm like, Marty!
We messed up. Go back to scene.
You're about to see some serious shit.
I tell you what, I've ever had like fake mustache or like beard or like doing a performance.
Never. I requested one for a performance, and Paul went, "Behave."
I was doing it. It wasn't a pantomime. It was some sort of. It was like a. It was like a contemporary type. It was like a contemporary style. What was it? Like a diverse. It was like sort of a talent show. We had like multiple. It was basically like an X Factor type show. You had like singers on there. You had like people doing physical theatre dances.
Yeah.
People doing like bits from old TV shows. And there was me and like two other people doing like it was like a comedy dance from like an old 1940s show or something. So we had like wearing these like striped curtain things that I tied with a belt, look like Russian dancers or whatever, little hat on. I had like a fake beard and mustache, but on stage, because obviously it's very physical, I was moving about dancing a lot. So you can imagine how like sweaty I am and how loose the beard becomes. So I went backstage, and all of a sudden I took a big breath and in went the fake mustache, and he's me trying to suppress my cough for the next act on, and he's me like coughing up hairballs behind the stage. I'm like, oh, it was disgusting, man.
That's great.
It was disgusting. I couldn't get the help of all people. I was like, oh, fake beard hair. I was like, ugh.
That's the thing, though. Like, I'll never listen to anyone when they say that like acting is like a DOS subject or like it's not hard or whatever, because it is. It's so difficult to do.
I tell you what, the funniest bit about acting, what I love doing, I love doing theatre shows probably the most, because the funniest shit happens, and like the funniest shit happens usually on show night behind the like curtains during like in the wings.
The energy that
when you wait in the wings, you all try to be silent while the scene is going on.
But you're still kind of communicating with each other.
I remember I was doing that at Midsummer Night, and they had like a tent on stage. You might be in the audience actually. I don't know if you witnessed it.
Was this in Middlesbrough College?
Yeah, it was in there, and we were in there, a few of us anyway. I don't know what night it was. I don't know if you were there for this night, but I was in the wings waiting to go on, and there was someone who played. I think it was like Titania, the fairy queen there, and she was sat in like sort of a tent. It was very much like this is a tent. This represents like Brechtian type style, I think.
Yeah, like so kind of minimalist.
Yeah, minimalistic style. And so me and these other like the other actors who were in my scene are waiting outside and wings about going and watching the scene before, because like, we have got a bit of time. And all of a sudden, you just see this tent collapse for the person still inside. So they sat there, and obviously that like tried to stay still. So you just saw a little hand go up. But the thing is, though, because it was dark and the tent was illuminated, you could just see the shadow of like trying to like put the tent back up as you sat inside it, and all the audience is there pissing as I'm laughing. I'm like, oh god! And then the tutor went, and then, so she's got like suffocated by a tent, and then we had like quickly like try and like run on, and like some people do like acting performance at the front of the stage, and people dressed in black are trying to go and like, put it back up, I think. But the tutor came back afterwards and like, who the fuck's been messing with that tent? I told you not to mess with it. Now look what happened. And everyone just stopped there like,
wasn't me. Honestly, you have to. The thing is as well, like with acting, like it doesn't go to plan. Like, there'll always be one thing that messes up, always, like, and you have to improvise, you cannot stop, you have to keep going, and I think that's something that's, like, not emphasised enough. Like,
yeah, that, like, I love
think on your feet.
Improv stories are the best as well. Like, I remember doing that at pantomime before, and my friend had to step in the bucket, and the joke was, his foot got caught in the bucket, and he's walking off stage with his foot in the bucket. So he goes like that, put his foot in the bucket, but the bucket tips over and starts to roll off stage. And so, obviously, you can't have the bucket on stage because it would make no sense to the next scene. So I'm like, oh, what are you like? You know what I mean? Everyone else did.
I'll behave. You have to, though.
It's just it wasn't in the script. Everyone else was looking at me like, that's not in the script. I'm like, well, what else are you going to do? Leave a bucket on stage during the next
well, you just like, and then it rolls off, and then you're like,
you know,
bucket fell off.
Draw a face in the bucket. That's the main actor now. You know what I mean?
End scene.
Sack this play. It's all about the bucket now.
Bucket.
It's like Wilson football.
Wilson. But yeah, it's Yeah,
I'm
think,
really missing the acting now.
I know we kind of well, it's been 3 years since I've last done a play, and it'll be 2 years for you.
Yeah, something like that. I really want to do a play actually. You know, I've had quite a few offers like short films before. I'm just like, even recently, I was like, oh, I don't want to do short films, man. So like, I do appreciate them, but
I think
I enjoy plays more. I think.
I've not had a lot of good experience with short films, just because like. Obviously, when you're at uni, obviously you have to work. Well, the actors, you typically work with the production students, and obviously a lot of not every production student. There's
You
some,
all think they're actors, and like you haven't done an acting course.
Well, like
They all want to star in their own films. I'm like, you've got like they might like watched a few films and they think, oh, if I just act like they do in the movies, and I'm like, we've spent years studying this shit. I've done 2 years in college, 3 years in university. I've got 5 years worth of experience reading fucking. You know what I mean?
I could have been a lawyer, a historian.
Reading scientific papers on this shit, and you've seen the fucking movie, the Clint Eastwood, and you think you're him, do you?
That's what I mean.
You know what I mean? I'm like, fucking get in your own lane.
Yeah. You're behind the camera. Let us do the, let us be the marionettes. Like, but it's, yeah, like, what was I saying? Yeah, like a lot but even some of the production people, like, they were doing that just sort of like, they were kind of like haphazardly doing stuff where it's just like, they just go through it and do it minimally, which I get. Like, hell, some of us did it on the acting course with films and that, because it wasn't like our passion to make films as such. But I've never had like, my main complaint was sort of like, I do a student film and like, it was like, we do just 3 takes of a scene, like of a shot, sorry, and I didn't feel like I could like, experiment enough and like get used to the a problem with films as well that I have as well, it's very stop-starty, unlike theatre. The energy sort of like, it's not someone saying cut, do that again. It's sort of like you keep going with theatre. The energy sort of comes afterwards with the film, like you watch it and you see the finished product.
Yeah, it's weird to like, it's so hard to like get that energy from like the day before or something and like keep it at the same level and just like, yeah, it's so fake. Like, do you ever feel like that when you're about to do a scene? So I'm just like, I'm not even enthusiastic, but I have to fake it so much. So you got that, like, yeah, and it's like, oh, I want to kill myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, I know what you mean. Like, theatre, you just
the energy. I think it's once you've got that initial build up, you can sort of keep it going. My hands are going all over the place.
That's another thing I noticed when we did a film before. I know you like experiment, but there's one particular scene I need you to do it exactly the same. And when I was doing it post edit, I was like, that motherfucker's moving his hands all over. So the final cut, I had to like really go into it, because otherwise your hands just doing that while you're still speaking, stood there. I'm like,
it's not even just
he's like Medusa.
It's not even just my
not
hands.
Medusa, Ganesh.
It's not even just my hands. It's the I move a lot. Like
I sway a bit from side to side.
I was a brilliant tree back in primary school.
Once the wind catches me, you'll never find it.
I'm like one of those wacky inflatable tube men.
Just waving hands everywhere like that.
To be or to not.
Or to not be.
To not be. But, how great am I? Fucked up Shakespeare. But yeah, what I was gonna say, sorry. It's that like that's what fucks me up with film. You have to kind of stay within shot and you have to be aware of a camera. And that's what I struggle with. Like on stage, I'm like, fuck it. This is my stage. I'll walk around, I'll take control of it. But on camera, I'm just sort of like, help. I can't move. Like
I like as what I like on stage as well. Like you can like you say, walk around and make your own. Like I used to purposely like try and use up as much space as I could, just to like, this is my
start shoving the upper
start sitting in the audience. I'm like, I'll own this too, bitch. Break the fourth wall.
Give us that chalk ice.
You're up there eating someone's Ben and Jerry's while you're doing a performance.
And then you just go one of the cars like, oh yeah, I killed your husband. It's just like what? I killed him.
Eating a chalk ice.
They're having a whip ride. Like, now's not the time to be eating a chalk ice. Where did you get the chalk ice?
What's wrong? Do you want a bit?
Fucking hell.
But anyway,
like, what does this chalk ice and your dead husband have in common? They're both cold. Woo! It's like, it's a comedy now. Woo! Lecturers in the back, like, that's the most brilliant actor I've ever seen. Like, it's just like,
well done.
Oh god, autistic actor energy coming out right now.
Don't show 'em dinosaurs. So imagine if we had a dinosaur keeping in there.
My eyes would have went woo.
Be like on a cartoon.
Yeah, well, the eyes go massive and the heart stuff. I'm not attracted to dinosaurs, by the way. Like,
I mean, I didn't see you were attracted
No,
to
I
it.
said the heart
You said that. You wrote that.
So I did. It's out. Dinosaurs, get my motor in. That's on the internet now.
You get a girlfriend, you're like, dress up as Barney.
Hey, kids.
Oh, fucking hell. Scientists out there looking at dinosaur fossils, please don't bring them back.
Imagine that. Like, imagine they literally like bring back a T-Rex and it's just like an anthropological like dinosaur, like Barney.
Do you know what I want to know? Will they make the same sounds as doing movies? Because people like oh, like someone invented a noise for dinosaurs, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not even factually correct.
I legit thought I was a dinosaur on the playground as a kid. Anyone who knew me in primary school will vouch for that. I just ran around like a dinosaur.
Oh no.
Yeah. That was me. Look at me now.
At
least I'm honest about it.
Did you happen to get bullied a lot?
Like, you fucking know the answer to that.
I'm not being funny.
Look, I didn't have any friends, so the dinosaurs were my friend Stephen.
The only friends.
Just me and my bucket of dinosaurs.
A bucket of dinosaurs. How many dinosaurs do you have?
Well, in a little bucket, like little plastic bucket.
It's just like when
people must. They still have those, don't they? Like the little like tubes of dinosaurs.
I've never seen a tube of dinosaurs in a bucket. I don't know what you mean.
Well, I put them in the bucket. I didn't buy them.
What you putting dinosaurs in buckets for? They don't live in buckets. What you playing at?
What they do with me? I keep them in the bucket. The bucket's easy to carry in it. Like,
I don't know, it's just like equivalent of like a 30-year-old woman with a chihuahua in a pair. So she with a dinosaur in a bucket as a kid.
If I was a wag, forget 2 hours, I'd walk around like.
If you were a wag, you'd walk around with a dinosaur in a bucket. Oh my god. Anyway,
we went from talking about like the
I don't know where the dinosaur thing come from.
I don't know either.
I think I don't know. I think he was firing up. He was like, "I'm not in love with dinosaurs." I was like, "Okay."
Oh, that was it. That was it.
I was on about a keychain.
It's
or
just
something.
one big tangent. That's what it was.
I don't know. Anyway,
acting.
So, well, not even that. I was going to say, why don't we talk about what projects we're doing? I'm sure a lot of people will be interested these days. I know you're working on music at the moment. Did you have a session earlier, I believe?
I couldn't have it today because my producer mate, by the time he came back, he was really knackered. So I said we'd already had a session earlier in the week. So I said like, we'll do it like the start of next week because I don't want him to get burned out over it.
So you're working on a song that you wrote while in Italy, is that right?
That's correct, Stephen. The lyrics are
I'm just speaking like this. So
I'm taking the piss.
You know what I mean? People are probably interested though.
Like, thanks for having me, Stephen. The new single's out.
People are probably interested in what you're up to though.
Right, okay.
They see you on like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube and that doing little snippets. I thought I'd have something like.
Right, okay.
What have you been up to?
Right, so I've been.
You wrote it while in Italy though, didn't you? It's like an indie song.
The first draft I wrote in Italy, because I sent you it.
And how would you describe it? Was it like...
It right, so in its current state, right, so after the previous session, it's kind of like, it's kind of like a rocky, a bit of pop song, like it's kind of a mix of both. It's not super heavy, but it's got like a lot of guitar in it. The lyrics themselves are kind of relate almost to the name of this podcast. It's about sort of pursuing ventures that are not, not the norm as such, and the societal pressures that would crush you and stuff. And then like it's kind of like a bittersweet song because it's kind of like learning to accept that obviously you are the minority, but it's all right if you are as such. yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's been quite fun. I'm sure you won't mind me calling him out. My mate Jack Craggs, he's the one doing the production. He's a really good musician.
Yeah, I've heard of like our friend Josh was saying that as well. He said like,
well, he was on the production course, wasn't he?
yeah, he said like didn't hear from him for a few years, and he heard about like some of the mate had been talking to him, like, oh yeah, he just wanted to do music, and like he's doing really well with it.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. He's a really talented like vocalist. He plays piano, and he's obviously
Plays a lot of instruments, doesn't he? By the sounds of it, or what I've heard.
I laugh with the production stuff because he's not super confident on the guitar. He's much more confident than me, but he'll play stuff. And he's just like, I just have to layer it, like, and it is like, I am really grateful for it, like, because he offered to help me, and I think that's like, I think that's really important, especially when you're pursuing, like a passion, and especially one that's not like, not everyone's doing. I think cooperation and collaboration are very important, and that's why I was it was really wholesome when he offered to help. He didn't want money or anything.
It's clearly something he's got a passion for as well, and really interested in. And then you both help each other,
Well, yeah, and I appreciate that he hasn't been pushy with how he wants me to be happy with it, but I do value his opinion on it because, like I said, I'm quite a musically inclined person. Like I love listening to music and I love learning about music, but I'm not musically versed. I don't know a lot of the theory. That's more to do with me just not pursuing it as a kid. So
I mean, there's time to learn.
Well, yeah. I'm only 23 at the time of this recording, so I'm still trying to. I think everyone should try, keep learning stuff. I don't think your learning should stop.
Yeah, definitely.
When you become an adult, But I am really happy with it. I'm hoping.
When was the release date? That's what it's about.
When the single's out, you can buy you get a free T-shirt with it.
Don't say that because people will be like, "Hey, I saw the podcast. He said free T-shirt."
It's a Barney plushie. No, I'm hoping sometime during the summer. We have to wait for. He obviously knows people who can play do some of the instrumental stuff for us.
Yeah.
Because it's all obviously like synthetic instruments at the moment. And obviously the things that he and some like guitar that he can record from his place. So he wants to obviously get other musicians in to record the different components of the instrumental. And so we have something that's fully realised. But what we're doing for the time being is just getting the basic sort of foundation of the song laid down, how we want the song to sound, and so that when the restrictions are lifted, we can have a day or two of just recording it and trying to perfect it until I'm happy with it. So I'm looking forward to that.
That sounds good. I was going to say you've got to release it on like YouTube and Spotify eventually. Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe a music video you might pursue in the future?
It's funny you say that. Obviously, people on the people listening won't know this, but obviously, myself and Stephen, we obviously talk about obviously trying to get our friends involved with stuff, and it goes back to that thing I was saying about collaboration. I would love to do a music video. And not just have it like a generic,
really spend time on it.
Yeah. I like telling stories.
Yeah.
Whether that's through lyrics or cinematography. So I would love to do some storyboards of a music video. It doesn't have to be super flashy, but I want it to coincide with the song and almost elevate the song.
Yeah,
you listen to it.
I think music videos does it does matter. You have to get it right. You have to get it to go with the song because you see sometimes music videos smaller bands where they'll send it to a director, filmmaker, or whatever to send the song over. They'll try and listen, but you can tell when they haven't collaborated a lot on it. Say if I were to make a music video for someone, I'd really enjoy. I'd really enjoy that project because it's not too long of a thing to make. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you can make it as creative as you want. But I'd definitely sit down with the writer, the singer, and the band and be like, "What's this about? Where we what were we here when this was happening? Try and get as much information about it as you can. What do you think about this, that, and the other? And really work with them and collab with them to try and get their vision down on footage. Because you can tell sometimes when a lot of people just think, oh, you know what, they might like this, and just shut it together.
You have these really deep lyrics, and then it just cuts to a video of a woman being ultra sexualized.
Sometimes it does on music videos, and you're just you have not spent time collaborating, talking to each other here. Like,
It's like the lyrics are about my dead dog, and then it cuts to, it cuts to like, you know, like a last twerking or something in the music video.
Yeah, twerking
like,
on Lamborghini or something. It's like, right.
It's just like, this is not working. Like, but yeah, like,
I think
obviously,
it's important to get it right though. But I definitely like most projects I do, or where I can, I do like to get my friends involved, because obviously,
just what I would do.
I believe like what comes around goes around. You know, like I have friends who do like YouTube, some friends like interested in acting, some musically gifted friends.
You obviously dabble in like stand up as well. So.
Yeah, like I dabble in stand up with a few friends from that sort of section of my life. You know, it's good to try and get like these friends involved, because what goes around comes around, and you know, a few years down the line, they might have a project and they might go, oh, you'd be the right guy for this, or you know, I know this is happening. Do you want to get involved? And I'm like, yeah, man, sounds good.
Yeah,
it's just nice to be nice.
I've always, well, not always said, like, last few years, I will lie. I'm sorry, I will lie.
I will lie.
I won't lie. I'm one of those people that would love to be successful, and not necessarily for myself, but for other people.
I'd like to create a group of like friends that like.
I'd like to have friends.
Anyone? No, I'd like to create a group of people who have obviously been friends for a long time. We do slightly different like career paths that all link together. Like let's on about actors, directors, makeup artists. You know what I mean, stuff like that. All in like sort of similar range.
Pasta painters.
Do you know what I mean? Like sort of help each other grow with different projects, and like obviously like make it together, make it big time together, and make it rich together. Because then we can help each other out, and it comes like that, you know what I mean? You have to have your friends around you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to help them grow as well as yourself.
Well, yeah, like I said, I would only want to be successful, and like have like a bit of like wealth behind me, so that I can fund my mates' projects, help my family, like. That is the main reason I would want to be successful. Well, not that, yeah, the main reason I want to be successful, but the main reason I want to do it initially is because it's my passion. Like I like telling stories. I like expressing things through art.
Like I don't know about you, but I'm sort of in like the mind frame of like I don't even want to be rich in life. Like even doing this podcast, like eventually I'd love to earn like enough money. I think I said this to you multiple times, where I'd earn like what I do in my normal day-to-day job. Like, is that if I had enough money to eat each day and like pay the bills and the rent?
Mm.
Like
maybe a little bit extra. Just
just for like general stuff and whatever. And I'd be happy with like just a little bit to get by on, so that then I can put my full attention into different projects, or get more guests on here, and like you know, like get more podcasts out. You know, I'd happily do this as like a daily job.
Well, likewise,
you don't need a lot of money, you know what I mean? But like that's my goal eventually. I don't want to be like super rich and this, that, and I don't really care for it. Or if I was, I'd fund projects with it.
Exactly.
I'd get by on like minimal wage that you need to get by on, and the rest of the money I'd fund it into projects or buying equipment and stuff, you know.
Well, yeah, I think me and you're on the same page with that. Like I said, it goes back to like I don't want to be rich for me. I want to be rich for other people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like, well, not rich, but I want to have that expendable income so I can like, you know, if I've got like a mate who's a struggling musician or a struggling actor, and you know, they haven't got, they want to pursue something, but there's like a bit of like monetary stuff holding them back. It's like, there you go, fund it. It's an investment because you're one of my friends. Hope it, you know, hope it pays off, and I hope you're happy, sort of thing. Like, I would be very content with literally just making music and like acting, and just, you know, being able to live off it. Like that is my ultimate goal. I want to be able to, I want to be able to live off my passions. In the grand scale of things, like having excessive wealth is more of a side thing. You know, having notoriety is a side thing.
I think it'd be a problem as well.
Yeah,
like if you're like, you see these people getting too rich too fast, and like a lot of people
ruin lives, doesn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people start coming around like, oh, me and you used to be buddies, right? And people are just like, what the who's this guy? You know what I mean? It's like, we spoke once 3 years ago. Okay.
That's like, yeah, you get people like that still now, though. You don't have to be rich. Just like,
yeah,
we went to school,
weird,
could you lend us 20? Like,
I had someone message me I was telling one of my mates about it the other day. I had someone message me a few weeks ago, and it's like, hey, how are you doing? And I was thinking, who's this guy? And then I realised, like, I asked about a few people. I was like, I realised that we went to school or something like years ago and never spoke to him once. Didn't really know each other. And I was like, I didn't even bother replying. It was probably a bit bad, but like,
might have genuinely just wanted to be your friend.
He's a bit of a dodgy character, to be fair.
Okay, fair enough.
For what I found out, he's a bit of a dodgy character. I just thought, can't be good. So I just didn't bother. But it's weird though, isn't it? Like, just out of the blue.
Yeah,
it's weird, but I imagine that's happened to a lot of people. A lot of people be like, oh,
I've been the one doing it. To be fair, before I've been, I remember like second year of uni, I was like obviously just fueling my like addiction to go out all the time. So I did ask, like,
yeah,
I don't do it now. I wouldn't dream of it. Not happy about it, like, but yeah, it's to be fair though, I never really did it with people that would like. I do it with friends more, so I've never like pop up to random people.
Yeah, like, it's just like proper random if you've never spoke to anyone in your life and you're just like, you know,
you've got like a long lost twin, you pop up, it's just like, hi. It's just like, what? Yeah, but yeah, like literally, that's all I want is just to be able to like live off my passion. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's super selfish. I think we are all God, it sounded really religious there for a second. I said, we're all put on this earth. No, but I think we're all
pawns in the grand scheme of life.
But we're not. That's the thing. I think you get pawns, you get bishops. No, but you also
and you have to watch out for those bishops. let me tell you a story.
Jimmy, no. But
who's Jimmy? What happened?
Where did the bishop touch you?
Pulls out a doll.
Pulls out a crucifix.
That's just to try and keep him away. He starts shouting holy water on the bishops. Stay back.
For any religious people listening, I'm very sorry.
I'm not.
Stephen Ed. No,
it happens. I'm not saying all bishops.
I was trying to come up with a nice analogy for how everyone has a different function in life. And
sometimes it's not nice analogies, Declan. This is a real world.
What I was trying to say is, though, like, some people are quite content doing 9-to-5 jobs, and, you know, they seek reward from money, you know, so they can become financially comfortable. I seek reward through expression and change, you know, like...
Sorry, I just thought you got to say that. I seek reward through drug use. This is a cry for help.
Help me, please.
Just the way you slowly said it. No, you don't.
The violins start playing, like it starts getting really eerie.
No, but I mean, some people are happy doing that, you know, and good on them, you know.
Well, yeah.
Work hard for
I
money,
never shit on someone for you know working and stuff like that. I struggle with that stuff. Like,
people are just different, honest. Some people are built different. Like I know I like. I don't know. Some people put in the hours and like good on, like they get great money for doing the job and the rewarded rightly so. But I don't know. I've always strived for like something different, something a bit out of the ordinary. You know what I
mean? No, I've been like that since a kid. I don't know if you have been the same. Like since I was a kid, I was like, I want more than this. Like, you know.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like doing stuff like obviously, I mean, as a kid, you know what annoys me as a kid, and one of the reasons I want to do this podcast, just letting everyone know, is because when you're a kid in school, your teachers say you can become a teacher, you can become a doctor, you can be a fireman, you can be a police officer, you know, you can work in the library, or you can be a nurse, but they don't go into
creative things, do they?
They don't go into specifics. Well, and creative stuff. They don't go, oh, you can be like a radiographer in the hospital. Or you can be like a dermatologist or something. You can work on crime scene part of the police.
In your teacher's defence, mate, if they went through the specific careers, they'd be there for hours. You could be a radiologist, meteorologist.
I'm not saying go through the whole list of jobs, but
no, I get what you mean.
You know what I mean? But and like same that creative side, don't go, oh, you can be a playwright. You know, you can make pottery. You know, you'd be like a guy out
Patrick Swayze. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you'd be an artist. You know, you do concept art. They don't tell you any of this stuff. You don't say how you be an actor on the stage, or even like normal jobs. They don't go into specifics, and it's annoying. It's just like, oh, you do these things, and then the kids think, oh well, guess I've got to be one of these 6 things, eh? You know, like,
yeah,
like don't tell the kids you can do these. Like, at least give them the broad spectrum of what they can do. And that's why I create this podcast, to try and show younger people and get event like, let's say I want more guests on from different backgrounds to show that you can be a CEO of your own company, you can be a makeup artist, you can be a musician, you can be an actor, you know, you can have, you know, you could create your own security firm, stuff like that, or like you can be like a fireman or whatever. Like, just a variation, really. I just want to show people you don't have to go into these little segments in life. You can be what you want to be.
Yeah,
Sorry, I went on a
No.
But it really annoys me because I wish someone told me as a kid. You know, when I was a kid, I was doing BTEC construction in school, and yeah, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, and like I like today, I put up, not really construction, but I put up a bed, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But I was there with like screwdriver and
I
drill
built a house in Minecraft, so fuck you.
But it just annoys me that like I wasn't told about his broad range of things in life, because maybe I wouldn't have like. Maybe I would have like went into these different career paths a lot sooner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I'm
I figured out what I personally want to do, not what people. Because a lot of people would tell me what I should do, not what I wanted to do, and it was annoying. It was like, oh, you should do this. I'm like, well, what if I don't want to do that?
That's one thing I've been quite lucky, because obviously like my mum's always been quite supportive of my passions. But to be honest, like I didn't know what I was super passionate about until quite late on. Like I kind of knew what I liked.
You're shotting ketchup on the wall. He's got to be a great artist. What about the wall? Leave it.
No, but my mum really liked it when she saw him. Like the thing I did as a kid was that I used to draw. I used to draw excessively. I don't draw as much now.
You should do. Like, I really like when you draw like your weird
stuff from my
psychedelic
dreams. Yeah.
They're very psychedelic. It's trippy. I like it.
I used to just draw stuff straight from my head like that.
It's really
not bound by art style as such. Just drawing anything.
There's like a lot of information there when you look at it. It's not just like one picture. It's like loads of little detail. It's very detailed.
Yeah.
The way that you map out your mind and what you saw.
Well, I'd love to do like digital art eventually. But yeah, like I knew that was the one thing I consistently liked, and then I did acting around the age of like 13, 14. I'd obviously been in plays and stuff prior to that, because obviously like Catholic school, doing like nativities and stuff like that, and I was in the choir, like, you know, like yeah, it wasn't really until recently where I was just like, oh, like the one common denominator between all these is that I really I like creative stuff, but I really like artistic expression. I like things that that translate from my head onto a page or onto a stage or into a song. Like,
yeah, that sort of creative aspect.
Yeah, because I've got quite a lot of. Well, you know, I'm quite a passionate person. Like
you say it with your hands.
Yeah.
You know, quite a passionate person.
It's like fucking lob this across. But I am
creatively passionate. Start shouting stuff about.
But I am, and I struggle. I really struggle when I'm not being creative, because it almost feels like there's a build up.
Yeah, it's very sometimes a bit mind numbing. Like if I've not done anything creative for a while, I'll sit there and I'll be annoyed at myself. But I'll also warn. I'll give you an example. Do you know the other day when me and you did that food shop, and we were just like running amok in
every shop.
We just running amok in the food store, shotting stuff at each other. Whatever.
We are the loudest people in Aldi.
But it's funny though. Afterwards, I was like, "Oh, it's felt great today." Like,
that was a fun food shop.
I was like, "Why is that though? Why have we been like a different level today?"
It's serotonin, babe. We left the house.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, I think it's like just because I was like,
"This is what it feels like."
Are we mentally ill? They're like, "No, we're just happy. Serotonin. We left the house." Like, well,
it's me. We get.
No, it was funny though.
But we are quite expressive. Like we don't.
But before that, we'd been like sat there, sort of bored, sat in the house in lockdown, and you're just like.
But then that's also the same thing, because we get like agitated by the situation. Like me and you have to like sort of like be careful with how much time we spend around each other. Otherwise, we'll want to like bray each other. Like, and it's not because we hate each other or anything. It's just we don't like the situation, and it comes out.
It's very much like when you're in obviously like like it's not exactly the biggest house. We have like the studio here, the front room, kitchen, and our bedrooms and that. But it's very much when you're stuck in the house with the same person for like months. Then you are going to want to kill each other after a while. And there's probably a lot of people like I know like during lockdown, domestic violence rates have gone through the roof, which is quite sad. But sadly, these things do happen. It's like obviously I think people just do need to have a brain. Like obviously we're very social creatures. You know what I mean? We need to go and see our friends. Go out for coffees. Go to the pub once in a while. You know. And it's just a shame we can't do that at the moment. But hopefully things will turn around.
I think it's the social aspect that's like messing people up. That's I get my buzz from like going to the pub, go to see live music because you feel like the I'm going to sound like you, the energy of the room. Which you do. There is an atmosphere, isn't there? Like when you go to see live music and stuff, and you're like my birthday, for example, when we were at one of the bars or whatever, listening to music, like, I just loved it. Loved the atmosphere.
Was that Twisted Lip? Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. Tried a few little craft beers and that. Sat there, enjoyed the live music.
Well, I used to love going to the theatre every so often. Like, and then you'd watch the show and then you go for a drink afterwards. You know, it was sort of like it was really. I miss that stuff.
You talk about what you enjoy at the show afterwards with your friends and that.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's expression, and I struggle not being able to do that. I think a lot of people do. I think people are going to run each other's like ears off like crazy when lockdown's over. It's going to like sound like they're on coke. Like they just won't shut up. Like it will be, but I think in the best possible way, because everyone will just be like so happy to see each other that they just want to be like, oh my god, yeah, like. But yeah.
Do you know what I do miss? Do you know when you're in like have like a nightclub or like a bar and you go out to the smoking area and there's like people in there and you just get I don't know how it comes about, but you just get chatting to random strangers.
Yeah,
but
it's
like
surreal, isn't it?
But some of the people there like really genuinely nice people you meet and you just have a great crack. Like you crack on great with them, have a laugh, and like I miss stuff like that.
Stephen, that camera's turned off. It just turned off.
On that note, I think
to be fair, it's been over an hour.
Oh, only just, it must be in low battery. Oh, well, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. I think that's all we can do, because Declan's camera's off. You can't even see him. Poor bugger. Alright, thanks very much. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.